Hey, it's Candace, and I'm calling women higher. My goal is to empower you to become the woman that you are meant to be and live a life that you love. I am so glad that you're here, so let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back. I am so glad that you're here. Today we are going to talk about how to reduce stress. I don't know about you, but I lived many years with a very high stress level, and I feel like it's pretty common in 2023 that people are just walking around stressed with so much weight on their shoulders. And so I'm hopeful that you guys can learn some tangible things to do when you're feeling stressed. So, number one, it's really, really important that you take account of what you can control and what you can't control. There's this thing called the circle of control. The circle of control tells you what you can control, what you might be able to influence, and on the outside of that circle are the things that you just can't control. And so when you start to have worries or fears or anxiety about things that are outside of your control, that is unnecessary stress on you that you can release. But of course, that's easier said than done. It's really, really important to be aware of the things that are causing you to feel stressed. So if it's financial stress that you're feeling, you probably have some control over that. You might not have control over an unexpected expense, but you do have control over the income coming in and generating an extra income. If you're feeling stressed over the health status of someone else, that's not necessarily in your control. And so you have to then release that and know that there's absolutely nothing that you can do to determine the health outcomes of someone else. That is up to them. So those are two examples of things that you can control and things that you can't control. And so when it comes time for things that you can't control, something that I actually learned listening to a podcast is to get a shoebox. And if you are religious, you do believe in God like me, you write God and you put it on the box. If you don't, you can write whatever it is that you believe in. Anyway, you get this box and you take what it is that you're worried about and you write it on a piece of paper. The health status of my grandma, the whatever it is that you can't control, right? You can't control anything about this. You write it down on a piece of paper, you stick it in that box, and you just give it to God. Because if there is nothing that you can do, then you need to get it out, get that weight off your shoulders, and just give it to God or whatever it is that you believe in. So the second thing that you can do, especially when it comes to releasing the stress of things that you cannot control, but even with things you can control, is getting out and taking a walk. So I actually learned this in the last year. I decided to start walking myself, and I learned that walking actually reduces your cortisol levels, which is just stress hormone that is naturally produced in your body. Because when you're walking along, right, you're walking along and things are passing your peripheral. With things passing your peripheral, it can actually reduce stress, which is another reason why driving is also a way to reduce stress. If you just go for a drive, you're listening to music, things are passing by your peripheral, that just the motion in your peripherals helps to reduce your stress hormones. So definitely getting out, going for a walk. The walking is better than driving because it's also getting your blood pumping and getting you like out and moving and stuff. And so exercise is another really good way to reduce stress levels overall. Another really good way to reduce stress is to be intentional with your phone. So here we are in 2023, and other people and other people's lives and other people's highlight reels have never been more accessible in the entire existence of humans. So it's really easy to be feeling stressed, to get on your phone and scroll, and then to start to have all of these other feelings and judgments of all of the other people on your timeline. And so what I mean by being intentional with your phone is taking a look at who you're following. If there's this girl on your Instagram and you just cannot deal with following her, if she makes you feel bad about yourself because you're in that comparison game, if she's off to other things and you start to feel jealousy, unfollow her. It is okay to unfollow people, especially when it comes to your personal boundaries and managing your stress. So really being intentional. Who are you following? What are you following? If your TikTok, if your Instagram, if your Facebook is full of all of the really scary things happening in the news, unfollow. What is going on the higher ups really doesn't have much to do with your day-to-day life. If you're interested because you're interested in learning, then cool, keep following. But if it's making you feel like this impending sense of doom, like it did for me, then like unfollow, unsubscribe, stop watching it, stop diving into it, because it can feel really scary. And when you have that layer of stress off of things that are happening in the news or things that are happening worldwide, while it is really good to stay informed, it can also cause an unnecessary amount of stress. So it's okay to unfollow. It's okay if you don't necessarily know what's going on all the way across the world right now, because your stress and your peace of mind is more important in right now where you're at with the people around you than anything going on. So that is what I mean by being intentional with your phone as far as who you're following, but also being intentional with your phone and your phone time. Every Sunday, your phone is going to tell you, if you have an iPhone, I don't know if Androids do this, but it's going to tell you how much time you spent on your phone and where you spent it. So if you're spending a ridiculous amount of time on social media, while that's not in itself a bad thing, depending on how you're using your social media, right? Going back to that and being intentional with who you're following. But if you just feel like you are spending way too much time on your phone, put it down, turn it off, go outside and take a walk, go do something else. Because just being on your phone and scrolling, like you're getting tense, your shoulders are coming up, you're all like scrunched, your posture is bad, and that's gonna lead to a lot of tension up here, which is probably gonna lead to a headache, which is going to make you feel more stressed when you're trying to be productive, but you have a headache. So really just being intentional with your phone, both on your phone and putting it down and taking a step from that technology. The third thing that's really important is stretching. So like I just mentioned, when you're all tense from like hunching over and like your head starts to hurt, that's because you're spending too much time either in a chair or on your phone or on a screen, which is really easy to do in 2023, especially if you work remotely, you work from home, you work an office job, you're on screens or you're on your phone. So take a step, take some time to stretch or do yoga. My favorite channel is Yoga with Adriene on YouTube, and it has so many different like quick practices. It could be quick, it could be long, but really just doing yoga or even finding stretching techniques on YouTube. Like YouTube can be really helpful for just really quick in-home workouts, and getting your muscles stretched out releases that cortisol and also releases that tension and the stress that you're holding inside your body. You might not even feel stressed, but your body just being tense is going to cause that cortisol to increase. The next really important thing for reducing stress is to breathe. We as humans breathe. We don't think about breathing, but when we get intentional with our breath and actually work on breathing techniques, it can definitely help to reduce stress. So one of the best breathing techniques that I have learned and I have worked to teach my children is to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And really let that exhale all the way out. If you do this 6 times, it not only reduces your stress, but it helps you refocus. So if you're sitting at an office desk, or if you're sitting on your couch, or if you're whatever it is, wherever you're sitting, I would encourage you to stand up, close your eyes, release the tension in your shoulders, and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And do this 6 times. It's gonna help clear your mind, it's gonna help reduce your stress, and then you can go on about your day and do whatever it is that you need to do, because we all know there's an entire to-do list waiting for you, and that's okay. But taking 5 minutes to either go for a walk, breathe, do a quick yoga video, maybe like 10-15 minutes on the walker yoga, and really just putting down your phone. All of these things can really help to reduce your stress. So I hope that you found some value in this video. And if you learned something, or if you have a friend that's really super stressed, send this to her, because these techniques are going to help, and they're going to help promote your health because there are so many things that having high cortisol levels can really do to damage your health. And so reducing that stress hormone, reducing your level of stress, that's gonna help in your everyday life. And so if you have a friend that's super high stressed, or maybe you're the friend that's super high stressed, tag me on Instagram, share it with your friends, and I really hope that you found some value in this video, because the key to building a life that you love is figuring out, one, how to manage your stress, and two, how to regain control of the things you can control and let go of the things that you cannot. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad that you guys came today, and I'll see you next time.